Yeah. Oh, interesting. Keffels is now threatening to have Destiny's YouTube removed after threatening Lena at TwitchCon. Wow. What a move. What a bop. What a groin. Anywho, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm here. We're monetized. I don't have an air horn, but just imagine I do. I still don't know if my contact is in or out. Yesterday, I experienced some very extreme temporary blindness. What else happened within the last 2 days? Oh, on Wednesday, some interesting developments happened in my workplace. That is all I will say to the attestment. Not only because the ops are watching, but also because apparently that has had some developments that have progressed along substantially. So I'm just simply here at home. Well, I'm here at home like I normally would be. I was only scheduled for 3 days this week. But I am here at home. Spooking, babadooking. A similar schedule posted for today. That should be food. I know that the doors. I can hear it, brother. My bedroom's next to it.
No. I said I didn't call nobody.
Yes, I know how to fight. Did you not just say put it underneath?
No, I said put it underneath.
Yes, because if you put it underneath the that has yet to be open, but is also open.
I said I can't.
There was a door. Delivery at the door. Anyways. I'm here at home. We have content coming down the pipeline that I've been setting up. Is being edited, and then soon it will be published. It's not just content for, the SinglePlayerCarl live channel. It is also main channel content. You will be seeing and hearing familiar things and stuff. Probably hearing and seeing takes that might mirror some content being published by a wonderful another member and I guess also friend of the channel. Coming soon to an inbox near you. But here we are. Is Negro Funtime. And to that edge, you all should feel free to jump into the green room, as I do what I normally do. Because today is a day to talk and to hang out. Because I'm extremely mentally drained. It is what it is. Yeah, what it is, 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 What's I about to do? Oh yeah. You know. So that should disappear from here. Change that to there. You would, but I am at work. That's understandable, my child. Your presence is more than enough. So what shall we start off today with? Because I know what I will be doing. I will be playing video games. However, there's content, there's things happening in the world. I wish to have... Well, I can't exactly have nappy-headed opinions about it because, I shaved my head. And also, my scalp's recovering from having a lot of sores in it. Wouldn't say that it was extremely dusty or dry. It's just cornmeal dust, man. Cornmeal dust. That shit sticks to your scalp when it's wet. Or even moist. From sweat. It's everywhere. What the fuck, Carl? Hello, Unicorn Kaz. What did I do? What didn't I do? Who didn't I do it to? Is my tongue involved? That's the most important part. Is my tongue involved? I need some stand-aside music. I can't find the music I intended to use. Nope, can't find it with the video I intended to use. Damn. You said the M word. Which word? Mommy? Mother? MILF? Matriarch? Mounds? Manipulation? Mansplain? Man whore? There's lots of words I could say. Let's see here. Let's start with the top of the hour. Recently published by Abba Breach. Moist. Yes. Moist. 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 Alright. Feel free, take your time. We're gonna be here for a while. Window. Property. Brave. Filter. YouTube video. Smallin. Dragon. Smallin again. Adjust camera for position. Focus. Focus. Yes. transparent. Adjust my desk more importantly. All right.
Buy me a...
Why is it smaller?
You pathetic. You're only good for buying me a drink, you cuck. You know I have a boyfriend, you're still gonna buy it? I'll take your money and I'll take your drink. Thank you very much. Because I came here, I didn't even bring cash. Because I knew there was gonna be losers like you to buy me drinks all night. And I'm coming back tomorrow and after tomorrow, and all you little loser cunts are gonna be here. That's how they thinking. Maybe not as extreme as me. I added a little extra.
That was a little bit of sauce.
But you get...
Oh, shit.
Man on the streets. Man on the street videos. Oh my. I love these. These are so nice. I remember when I was not just only a man on those streets, but I was the man in them sheets. Man on them streets and in them sheets. Some of the shit that you'll see from situations like this are gonna fucking mess you up entirely. Most people would claim that the red pill happens on the internet, but no. No, the red pill happens here. The red pill happens here.
Okay, are y'all ready?
Yes.
That just happened.
What is your YouTube?
That just happened.
What was your YouTube?
That just happened. Yes! That's what I want to know. What is it?
Kylie, Jordan, Natalie, Courtney, Tiffany, Olivia, Sarah, Sophia, Gabriella, Alexa, Sophia, Victoria.
Yo, that's a DMX song. Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, just literally replay that same audio, just remove the visual, and don't it sound like it's the same bitch in the dark just saying different names?
Kylie, Jordan, Natalie, Courtney, Tiffany, Olivia, Sarah, Sophia, Gabriella, Alexa.
Oh man. I'm not sure how many people actually know this creator in question right here. That's Lena. And even though she no longer makes this kind of meme content anymore, and she does like the same influencer creator shit on every platform, even including places like TikTok, ironically enough, she actually low-key regrets this era of her life, because on one hand, yeah, it speaks to something that she can understand, you know, as a white woman, but on the other hand, she actually hates it when it gets used in this context, because of the fact that it's something that's true, but also people use as an easy to insult and attention-driving quality of white women out and about in the streets. It's less of a social anxiety and antisocial norm, and it's more like a very easily abused and easily referenced stereotype. But man, do we be hitting.
Sophia, Victoria, Ashton, Sarah, Ivy, Lily, Ellie, Maddie, Mia, Sarah, Tyra,
Courtney, Livia, Sophie, Palaba, Jamie, Felix, Serena, Sarah, Gail, Mel. What?
Gail.
Sorry, running out of names.
Yeah, I can see that.
Try doing it. I can do it. Pokemon rap. Go ahead. Hit my names.
Okay. Caroline, Tabitha, Mary, Cherry, Jane, Moan, Siobhan.
Oh, no. You went Moan.
Yeah.
Moan? Moan?
Moan.
M-O-A-N? That's Cap. Chat, he did 7, and then he had to give up. Moan, M-O-A-N. You guys want to look up the name. Don't even lie. Chat, put a 1 if you think Moan's a real name that y'all see from white girls. Put a 2 if you disagree. No, yeah, don't even try. Even Google said, yeah, made a great mistake. Amanda, Leah.
Amanda, Mary.
No.
No, get the fuck out of here.
Hold on. You'll get my Pokemon flow. Amanda, Leah, Sarah.
Good. 3. All right, carry on.
You gotta do the flow.
I never watched Pokemon.
You don't have to watch Pokemon. Do your own flow.
Lydia, Lisa, Mary, Siobhan, Sarah, Tara, Mara.
Wow.
Baby. Come on, man. Hit that shit.
Sandra.
This is what happens when you put black men in a room with each other. They have fun. Even when you put a black man in a room by himself and you let him into his zone, that man also has fun.
Sarah, Erica, Mary.
Yeah, let's go, my nigga. Yo, this is the hottest shit to come out of New York. All the niggas are hard to feel disrespected. Are you buying your own drinks?
Never. No. Absolutely not. Don't buy your own drink, lady. I don't buy shit. Sometimes. 50-50, sometimes. No. Never, never.
Oh.
Yeah, 90% of the time, no. Yes. Even if a guy offers me, yes, I buy my own drink.
I respect that.
No, the men will buy them for you.
Stop it.
No. Absolutely not. No. Yes, I do.
Usually a guy buys them for me. I mean, tonight, yeah, there's no men here.
You're barely a girl. Shut up.
Damn, all right, bitch.
Yeah, yes, always. Yeah, barely. Yes, I always buy my own drink. We bought our own drinks.
You gotta have your own money, but if someone offers you a drink, I'm not gonna say no.
How are you getting your drinks?
People buy them for me.
Who's people?
Guys, mainly.
How are you getting your drinks?
Men.
Y'all are paying for her drinks?
Yeah, they are. You find an old man. Sugar daddy. A sugar daddy.
Someone buys them for me, you have to either pop a titty.
You be popping titties for drinks? Damn, I never had happened to me. I'm trying to see what that be like.
80% someone else buys them for me.
Who's someone else?
The guy.
How are you getting your drinks?
You want to stop your drink.
Interesting.
People buy them.
Who's people?
Just random people come up to me.
If you're not buying your own drink, how are you getting drinks?
My good charm. My lovely personality.
What person?
Look at her face.
She knows. I'm not gonna buy a girl a drink if she has zero intentions of looking at me.
I told you, like, can I buy a drink? Like, okay, but I have no, like, I have a boyfriend. Like, okay, can I just buy a drink? Like, yep.
What?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because you have to understand, the penis is a dreamer, right? The mind understands what is. The penis understands who it could be inside. And then it dreams of who it could be inside. And then it sends a signal to the brain, says, nigga, shut the fuck up, right? And then the penis continues its dream and says, nigga, believe. Since you were a child, you knew that you could achieve. And it starts rhyming. Hey, she got 2 titties. We got 2 balls. Let's go to the basketball, play some pussy balls. Like the penis just makes it don't make any sense, but the toxin of it, the testosterone in your blood's like, hey man, that nigga's speaking facts. Listen. The penis is that trash-ass New York rapper who don't know how to rhyme, but got a whole row of niggas who still gonna go, ooh, whenever he does a shitty bar, right? So you start buying into the hype too. The penis is a dreamer. What the penis believes, the penis believes.
Penis is just like, hey guys, I'm kind of cold. I could be warm in there.
No,
That's the.
I don't know. Maybe your penis plays Dungeons and Dragons. Mine is assertive. Nigga, do it. Nigga, you've always wanted to do it. Look at her. Look at the way she just touched her hair. She wants to put that hair around your. That's how the penis works. So when I hear, when the dick hears a girl say, "But I got a boyfriend," the dick is like, "He ain't here right now, is he? Girl, you need his dick and balls in, right?" That's
I got a boyfriend. Oh, so you like?
Man, who wants to hear a story time from Carl? Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. I'm admitting it. I love the shit. I was thinking shit. Well, no, once upon a time, not very long ago, Carl was indeed a hoe. And I cannot explain to you how many times women in this city, women 2 cities across, women across the state lines in Alabama, and South and North Carolina, and Florida, would come here, either to my city specifically, or to an area around the towns of Atlanta, to go sightseeing. And every single time, they would come riding through. They'd bring their girlfriends. And men would shoot their shots at them. And they would be loving it. Drinks and all. And every single time, they would say, "Oh, but I got a man." I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit right now. Loyal women don't respond. I'm gonna say that again. Loyal women do not respond. Okay? They don't. They don't respond. They don't give the time of day to people. The energy, the smiles, everything. I've seen and I've felt and I've experienced it all. And I have indeed been made a drink and food number once or twice in my lifetime. And you would not be surprised the kind of woman who did it. Maybe because I have a type. But you would not be surprised by the kind of woman who did it. Seeing and hearing that shit. Memories. Memories. Singing down the road. From a place that I do know. Familiar to me. Memories.
Guys. Yeah! He's gonna switch it up to the positive.
So don't care. None of this matters.
You just have to get the drink and go. Grab a drink and go. I don't have any intention of doing anything with them, but I definitely stare at the drink before they give it to me. What?
You won't be able to tell if a drink is drug. You know that, right?
Me, I have a hawk. I'd be able to tell.
No, you won't. Shut up.
Cap. Unless you literally got the drink from the bar and stood next to him while he was making it, There's no fucking way that you'd be able to tell. Guys, you also would not be able to tell. Don't get yourself drugged because you want to be one of those people, okay? It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I'm promising you, it ain't worth it.
It's the ones that act like, nah, dude. The more you sure about your shit, the more this shit is more prone to happen to you. Trust me. Y'all ever take drinks from men that y'all aren't interested in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Y'all feel bad about that?
I do sometimes, but yeah, I don't.
That's a real friend.
That's a real friend.
Bitch, don't even try
Bitch,
to be
you lying.
shameless.
Bitch, you lying. Do you have any intentions on being with a guy?
No, he just wants it for me.
No, I like say it though.
And they still buy you drinks?
Yes, it's pretty unfortunate. It's pretty sad.
Something ain't right. Are you interested in that guy or you just take the drink?
No.
Stop buying women drinks.
Okay, let me ask you this, okay? And I think I want the audience to answer along with me, okay? I'm asking questions. Guys, when you see this, do you see that these men are desperate?
Yes. I know, because I've been there before. For some of these men, okay? For those of us who are not lucky enough to have multiple breakdowns, or to take the time to have either a friend, or a trusted colleague, or anyone that we can be able to let in our inner circle tell us, listen, you acting a little bit too thirsty. You out here too zesty, my guy. You're acting like a lemon. I'm going to need you to be a lime, sweet in time, and right on time inside of Jose Cuervo at 9. You got to chill. If you ain't got somebody in your corner to tell you that shit, and you're either 1, extremely awkward, or 2, a recently late bloomed hot guy, you don't actually have the context of how to speak and act around people. And no, you will not have the way and understanding to know what you should say, who you should say it to, how you should say it, how you should do it. That's not gonna be a thing that occurs to you. It's just not. The reason why that it's not possible is that for some of them, when they go out to the bar, they've been told by women! Go up to women, approach them, make the first move, blah da 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 da, la da 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 da. And when they walk up there, these women can smell. Sip it. Not just his dustiness, not just the lack of unmoistened penis, but that specifically, somebody came up there and you can hear in his actions, excuse me, miss, excuse me, miss, can I have some validation from your vaginal structure? And yes, we would hear it just as much if somebody was to approach us and say, excuse me, sir, can I please get a piece of that penile structure? But the difference is that for men, whether or not he's thirsty or not, he's going to see that, he's going to look at that, and he's going to think to himself, damn, I actually do want some penile structure. You know what? Let me go out there and get some. They're going to see this. They're going to hear it and be like, you know what? I ain't doing shit. I'm not physically at my job right now, and I could be playing video games, but hey, let's see what happens. Same thing happens to women, but it happens the reverse order. It's, I'm busy right now. I got a very large schedule. Is he hot enough for me to cheat on my man? No, he is not hot enough to cheat on my man. I'm going to instead see what I can get out of him. And do believe that women can be just as much as a giant creep as you could claim men could be. But there is a key difference. And that's usually because they're not going to get called or checked by most people on what it is they're saying or doing. That's the other caveat there. But the first caveat, when this happens, man to woman, a man approaches a woman, she can tell whether or not he's desperate, just based on how relaxed he is in his approach. All happy, giggly smiles versus nervous, looking over his shoulder, second-guessing his words, being like, oh, okay. It's very much in your approach. But then, woman to man, it can be just as fucking awkward. But women never have to deal with that because they understand where they stand in this hierarchy. They don't have to worry about that kind of a thing. But men do. They don't have to worry about that kind of thing. But men do. It makes you second guess yourself about whether or not they're actually interested in you or if they're interested in your body. A lot of times you can find out they're interested in your Monday. That's never a good feeling. No person wants to be treated like they're an afterthought. And yet, frequently, in many cases, people treat them like that, and they do. It's fucked up. It's very fucked up. And ironically enough, men treat women about this better than women treat men about this. Not just in rejection, but also in approaches. Mainly because most of us have never had a person attractive approach us before. And be like, damn, I didn't know I got the dick like that. Let me come over here and get some free coochie. And it's not even looking like somebody's a munch. It's just, we don't see ourselves like that. And usually, if we did, nobody ever says to us that they see us like that. From a young boy in high school, waiting to give off some chrysanthemums to a girl, to an older man who sees a girl at the office that he really wants to fuck, despite the song, "Don't fuck your coworkers." Hey, don't fuck your coworkers. Don't fuck your coworkers. Hey, don't fuck your coworkers. Blaring through their head. They still have to say to themselves, but I gotta take a chance. I'm going for it. That's why when we say to women that we're not interested, we say, sorry, not interested. Or sorry, I have a girlfriend. It's not, sorry, this would have been a really fun experience, and I'm sad that I'm not able to partake in it. It's a, listen, I know this has never happened to you before, but don't worry, Daddy's gonna be home for you soon. It's just a different experience for for both genders. It just really is. And the fact that more women have not been made accountable to it is disgusting. I'm gonna raise those numbers. We're gonna get some misogyny going here, guys. We're gonna raise the misogyny and the misandry numbers. We're gonna elevate them. It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be higher. It's gonna be greater. It's gonna be the shit. It'll be great, guys. It'll be great. Don't you worry about it.
Actually, a great question, because I'm asking myself that every time I wake up in the morning.
So, my question. Do you guys see these men who go up and buy these drinks for women who have zero intentions? And most guys know, but they're praying. Do you see these guys as desperate? Most of you probably answered yes. These guys are desperate. That's why they're buying drinks for women who are never going to look their way. Look how disgusted these women are. They've given these guys the same look. They pretty much laughed in their face sometimes. I would say zero.
I wouldn't say that they're desperate. They just, that's what they gotta do.
Which is desperate. Because no guy would be doing that if they didn't feel like they had to.
No, but not. No, I don't think. Like, just wait. Maybe I just didn't say that properly. That's not what they got to. But here's the thing. It's kind of the social thing to do. The thing that we understand in society. Guys buy drinks. Your girl, you buy a drink. They don't have a way to start a conversation. That's an easy opener. Maybe not a good one. But I wouldn't say that they're necessarily desperate. That's just me. But someone that buys a drink to those girls, not necessarily desperate. He's just, if you try to shoot your shot, not necessarily desperate. You just shoot a shot to see what's going on. Do you have any intentions on being with the guy?
No, he doesn't.
Preach is correct. Not every guy who buys a woman a drink is thirsty and wants the yams. It's just an expectation that if he's buying me drinks, that he's trying to sauce me up and wants my yams, because that's what women have been taught. Women have been taught, when men are interested in you, they will open their pocketbooks. And that is what started such inspirational speeches and experiences and details, such as hashtag make his pockets hurt his pockets, and waste his time with an update for each current year. That did not come about randomly. That was not something that somebody that was a city girl thought up. That was a campaign that was created starting in 2018 to try and make guys feel embarrassed and insulted for even shooting their shot with women. Now, for every single Becky that could insult you for that, there's a woman who your pickup lines might work on. Might not. You'll never know if you never take a shot. And most guys have been taught, worst of all, by fucking pickup artist girls. By their friends. By women. If you just want to be able to talk to them, you should go to the bar and you should go buy them a drink. You try to get to know them. But even by doing the advice that they're given, it's seen as an ulterior motive. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's not a very, very experience, in my personal opinion. But people just be out there like that. They just be out there like that. Also, make sure to pin this. Motherfuckers just be out there like that. And it's an unfortunate and unfair experience for everybody to be involved in. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
No, and I say it though.
They still buy you drinks?
Yes, it's pretty unfortunate. It's pretty sad.
You think when those girls are siphoning drinks from most of the dudes out there, that those dudes are not hoping for more?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're
Hold up, they're hoping for more, correct?
Yeah.
They don't get more, and they have that experience repeatedly. All these women pretty much said, I'm never going back anywhere with these dudes. I have zero interest in them. So that means that most of these dudes running around trying to buy these girls drinks are having little to no success rate.
Maybe.
When I used to go to clubs and you see the dudes running around buying girls drinks with the niggas that not get laid. It is what it is. The reason why you buy them drinks is because you ain't got game. At the club, if you out here, once you start going around buying these girls drinks, you know what they look at you as? A cash cow. That's what they do. And so that's why these guys do that. The moment a dude is really, really desirable, you see these guys going around trying to buy these girls drinks? Of course not. They don't have to. They don't have to. They don't have to because they don't have to spend that kind of money and do all that stuff because the woman's already interested. Dudes would never buy these girls drinks if it wasn't necessary to the social contract.
So they're...
I wouldn't say that it's necessary to the social contract, but I would definitely say that it's a part of it. It's a small little fine print subclause right underneath having a penis. And then underneath that, there's an additional subclause that says, if you have a vagina, disregard. You win, bitch! That is what it feels like. That is what it feels like to chew Carl gum. And that was probably my greatest awakening moment. I remember exactly when it happened. There was this woman who had flirted with me a lot in high school. I'm pretty sure she was maybe like one or two years older than me, but she was about 150 pounds heavier. Propositioned me, sucked my dick in the bathroom. I'm like, oh Lord, I can't believe you. Zip. So, this woman meets me again in adulthood. I had just came from my friend's house for Thanksgiving. She approaches me in her car, says, hey, I want to take you out. Here, here, and here. I'm like, okay, bet. We go to a hibachi grill. This woman brings her friend. Brings a friend. And my dumbass paid for both of them! I remember being confused. I remember leaving and being like, alright, where we going to next? She's like, we're going home, but we can drop you off. I said, bitch, where? She said, at your place. I said, bitch, no. She said, well, you got a whole lot of things to do. Yeah, just like going back in that restaurant and going paying for your shit. Payment denied. I don't know what the fuck I looked like that day, but I didn't look like a bitch. I remember telling that story the first time it happened to me. And someone saying, man, that's rude. You shouldn't have canceled the bill on them and made them go back in and pay. Like, fuck you mean? Because that situation there, and granted, in the cases of these women in this video, this is not entitlement for them. It's just what they have come to expect for being women in modern society. But for the women who do this shit on the regular, there are people who have taken advantage of the privilege that comes with being a woman. Someone is calling me. Hello. Robocallers. Robocallers! Robocallers! Women that do this on the regular with absolutely zero shame, because there is some shame associated with it. It's the shame of, he's paying that money on me. He's cute. Like in a dog way. Like a little dachshund. If I wasn't with Jason. If I wasn't with Eric. If I wasn't listening to music made by Abel. There's some level of shame. But every single time, the hot girl voice in the back of their head's like, don't feel bad about this motherfucker. This motherfucker is embarrassing. Look at him. That voice in the back of their head soothes them better than any medication and pill could. And over time, they start caring less. Because why should they feel bad? They didn't make you buy they didn't make you buy it. You bought it. They didn't ask you to buy the drink. You bought the drink. Why should they feel bad for something that you did of your own volition? Blase, 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 blase. So, when it comes down to it, when shit like that happens, you cannot, under any circumstances, allow for those kind of things to slide. You just shouldn't. Is it going to feel bad as a man when that shit happens to you? Hell yeah. It's going to sting your pride. That's all we have. Our heterosexual pride. And yet, what are we examining today? A lot of things. A lot of things. But when it comes down to it, you have to put your foot down, and you also have to keep your head up, because when it comes to situations like that, it's a numbers game. A lot of those interactions, it's a numbers game. How many times can I talk to a woman and be rejected before I'm given a yes? How often will I be rejected until I get a yes? Then it becomes less common, and I get more payout for the risky investment of my emotions and feelings. For women, it's not a numbers game. For women, it's a matter of time. Give yourself like an hour the next time you go out to the bar with your girlfriends. Put out the interest in the eyes to whatever random guy walks into the bar. Or club, wherever it is you choose to go to with your friends. And just look. Look and watch. Because the other thing that Abba said there is actually true. There are some men that never have to play game. But a lot of those men, they don't have to play game not because they're confident in themselves. That can also be a part of it. But the reason why they don't put in that much effort and don't have to put in that much exertion is because they already know for a fact that the majority of these women are going to approach them off rip. It has less to do with being a suitable mate and a suitable partner. It has a lot more to do with just a factor that not a lot of people speak to very often, which is these women can recognize whether or not they can get something out of them or not. That's the other factor. A lot of these women, they know. They know they can get an easy bit out of you. A lot of them expect to. And when you don't do it, they think to themselves, what's wrong with me? Some women do that specifically to see if they still got it. Me personally, I find that kind of thing to be toxic and wild, but I'm not those women. Just a little word to the wise, to the streets.
Desperate. Because it's a social contract.
The dudes who have to go to the club and buy women drinks and spend all that money on getting them drinks are the dudes who are not getting any. If you get some, you don't have to do that. Most of the time, if you get some, you don't even have to show up to the club. But if you do, you're certainly not running around like, you only buy drinks so I can talk to you. What? That is, if you already know how to approach ladies, you already know that's the worst way to do it. Because they already look at you one way. You're the same as the last 10 pathetic losers who gave me the same opener, which is, let me buy you a drink. Now here's another thing. If a girl liked you or she thought you were cute, you don't even have to buy her a drink. If you just go up to her and talk to her and act different, you've already stood out. It's actually counterintuitive to go up and buy them a drink like every other loser who's tried the same night.
See, the thing is that in order for them to know that, they have to actually have gone through the experience of that failure. Because if it's one guy trying it once, they're going to think, well, what is going wrong? What am I doing wrong? And not just asking friends, they're going to ask themselves, what am I doing wrong? And they're going to change. I remember when I had that moment, and the words that came out of my mouth because I was nervous the first time I did this, before my evolution into a fuckboy. What an eye. I remember I was going out to one of the local college bars. We have a local cuisine drink around here called a trash can, which is a normal drink that has an energy shot put into it so that the taurine, the guanine, and the other energy supplements put inside of said drink, like a Red Bull, can inhibit your alcoholic capacity and allow you to get drunker faster for less. It's a very inexpensive drink. It's like $4 or $5. I remember going up to the bar. And I remember talking to not just the bartender, who was, of course, was a woman, but also to the woman at said bar, who had recognized me, ironically enough, from my work involved with the consolidated government as a government worker. And instead of saying, "Let me buy you a drink," I looked at her and said, "Let me buy me a drink. I need to have a drink." And she laughed. And I realized what I had said, but I kept calm and cool. Because on the face and surface, I was like, "Let me buy me a drink." And what I was actually saying in my head was, "Oh my god, you idiot! How do you bungle that?" But then, after she said, "I've never heard of a person misspeak and get me out of my pants." I laughed. Because I realized at that moment I had been a fool, an imbecile, an absolute clown. It was that easy? It was that easy. And it was. But I wouldn't have known that had I not struck out. It's like playing ranked. There's a point in your climb where you say to yourself, "Why am I still losing my games? What the fuck am I supposed to do differently?" It's like going onto your u.gg. Click this off. It's like going to your u.gg or using any lookup website to look at your numbers, right? And you look at your numbers, like I'm showing them off right now. What is this? What is that? That's the text box. It's like going to your numbers right here. Actually, I'm going to use a different window. Let me drag this down and use a different window. It's like going to your UGG right here. And you look at this. And you ask yourself, what can I have done differently? Why am I losing these games like this? What am I doing wrong? What is the experience? Because it looks like this. This is how your record of women can look. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't hit for a while. Sometimes after a while, when you didn't hit, it feels good. Then you don't get some, then you get some, then you don't get some, then you get some, then you don't get some. Then you're really feeling yourself. And then you're really feeling yourself. You rank up. But then you experience another loss streak. Then you get some. And it's just, And you gotta ask yourself, what's going wrong? What can I do differently to change this outcome? It's not something that most people can be mentally prepared to do, because people are not mentally prepared to put themselves in the position of getting rejected back to back to back. Only sociopaths do that, which is why the people with the best game are usually the people who have been mocked the majority of the time. We don't look down on men and women that don't have experience. We feel sorry for them, and we want to help them improve and get to a better place, because they deserve orgasms too. And yet, how often do you hear this story from the position of the men and not the women?
Now, of course, if you're in the flow of a conversation with somebody and you're vibing, you guys are, that's different. And if I'm wrong, ladies, let me know in the comments below. When you guys are at a nightclub and the dude runs up on you and says, "Let me buy you a drink," what is your first thought in your head aside from a free drink? Are you looking at this dude and thinking, "Wow, he's cute"? Probably not. And you want to know why?
Women in the audience, let me hear from you. I'll give you 30 seconds on the clock. Tell us about it. What do you feel? Also, please do remind you, y'all can jump into the Discord and jump into the call. Today's a fun day. The rules are lax for today. I'm gonna check the chat. Never had a dude buy me a drink at the bar, so I wouldn't know. Aww. I would buy you a drink at the bar with your husband's consent. Also, ironically enough, that's a great title for for a fucking cuck romance novel. With your husband's consent. Written by SinglePlayerCarl. Actually, it's a pretty good name for a bull story, too. No! Bull story. Bull story. The story of an able-bodied loser who becomes a breeding bull and starts banging everybody's hot wife. Yeah! 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 Yeah. That's nice. Lurking while multitasking at the moment. I see. Carl, please. Crest is still a social coward. I've never been a party sort of woman. Trying to read and click at the same time. Can I read and click at the same time? Yes. I've never been a party sort of woman or a drinker, and I've always been in a relationship for most of my adult life, so I'm a little different. See, you're a traditional woman. That's different. There's not many traditional women out here in these streets.
Oh, that's true. Because the girls who were asked this question, when he buys you a drink, would you go back with him? They didn't think back to all the guys who bought them drinks and they thought it was cute. They're thinking about the hundreds. Because these girls go out every weekend.
That's hundreds.
And they get drinks every weekend. They don't pay for a single one. They're thinking about the hundreds of dudes who bought them drinks and they wanted nothing to do with.
That's hundreds.
Now, I'll bet. I ain't done the whole club thing since I was 20. That's 7 years ago for me. Okay? I doubt it's changed. Already you're working 10 steps back. And the reason why I bring all this up, the reison why dudes are in women's DMs, famous women sending all this stuff, talking to these ladies, the reason why dudes and OnlyFans is exploding and dudes are sending all their money even though they're broke or they're pretty much living at the poverty line, the reason why all of that is because men are desperate. Men are incredibly desperate for some either coochie or reciprocated affection. Some of these dudes really want girlfriends, a lot of them do. Some of them just want human contact, you feel me? I just want to appreciate. Oftentimes, when we talk about taking advantage of people and power dynamics, but
True.
what we never do in society is talk about the sway that beautiful women have over men.
True.
That's all. I'm not saying that taking a drink from someone...
Actually, we talk about it more often now than we do ever, because that's the reason why people criticize OnlyFans women. It's the reason why we criticize e-girls. E-girls are women who have weaponized it. Even if it is a woman that tries to weaponize men's sexuality, like that which we can see with people like Amaranth, or if it's a woman who has weaponized the idea that the best effective measure to control people isn't to be a shrill, hypocritical bully, but to basically be a soft-spoken ooh-woo kind of woman, like Pokimane. Or you have yourself a manipulative, evil individual, like, formerly known as Bad Buddy, now known as Kira's Chats. Basically, ride the line of being allowed to be verbally abusive, but it coming off as though it's just normal hot girl shit. That experience, things along those lines, it's not a new sensation. It's not a new sensation.
It's the same as a boss banging his circuit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the same thing that leads men to buy these women drinks and do that is the same shit that leads a lot of these men to go up on these OnlyFans and spend all their money, okay, for a little bit of human interaction. Even though these women know what these guys are there for, even though these women don't give a shit about these dudes, but just want to get their money, and they're taking advantage of them. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Even look at them. They're talking with disgust when they're talking about these guys.
You interested in that guy, or you just take the drink?
No.
You don't have any intention on being with these men?
No. You just have to get the drink and go. Grab a drink and go.
Do you have any intentions on being with the guy?
No, he just bought it for me. No. And I say it though.
And still buy you drink?
Yes, it's pretty unfortunate. It's pretty sad.
They hear these names and like, poof, right? That's what they're saying in their mind. You pathetic. You're only good for buying me a drink, you cuck. You know I have a boyfriend, you're still gonna take your money, and I'll take your drink. Thank you very much. Because I came here, I didn't even bring cash. Because I knew there was gonna be losers like you to buy me drinks all night. And I'm coming back tomorrow, and after tomorrow, and all you fucking little loser cucks are gonna be here. That's how we think. Maybe not as extreme as me. I ate a little extra.
That was a little bit of sauce.
But you get what I'm saying. That's the feeling.
But, I mean, you're not too far off.
No! They think you're a loser. So if you're watching this as a dude, stop buying these ladies drinks.
They won't stop.
Stop buying. And if a woman's like, no, what, are you arguing that it's men's place in society to go out to a nightclub and finance your night? A woman he doesn't even know? You better not be trying to come at me with that bullshit.
They're gonna come at you.
At least a stripper gives the man a lap dance. What the fuck is you doing? Giving him a glance?
That's a transaction.
No.
A glance of what?
No.
Full bar pay.
No. Stop, guys. Stop.
They're not gonna.
And listen, ladies will talk about power dynamics all they want. Beautiful women will use that shit to their advantage any chance they fucking get. So many of them will. So many of them will. And they won't even think twice about it.
A lot of them don't even know.
You women know? Hold on. I can tell them no,
No,
they
they
don't
know
care.
they don't care. They know they don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
When they do these OnlyFans things, they care?
No.
Come on, bro.
No.
Come on, bro.
Well, I'm not forcing them to do it. So that's why they don't care.
I can use that logic for a lot of things, but you know, power dynamics. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm out here feeling a bunch of sympathy for these guys.
Right now, that's not the slippery slope.
No, it's not slippery. I said it. I said. You heard it. You can print it off on the screen. I'm just saying. And I'm not sitting here crying for these dudes or being a bleeding heart.
No.
If these dudes want to go out and spend their money stupidly, that's their business.
That's them.
Take that L and hold that L, dudes. But ladies, I'm just saying, appreciate the entitlement of these ladies and the fact that men acquiesce out of desperation. Does that not sound a little predatory? Just because she's not built like a linebacker, don't mean she can't be deadly with her shit.
Predatory. I'm not going out there.
True. It's what makes the story I just told ironic, because of the fact that a woman was heavy set. I was raised to not care about things like that, so I thought to myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? She'd say no? And I didn't feel like that was a situation that was going to happen to me, because, like, she approached me. Why does she want me to buy her shit if she's not interested? Like, is it going to probably be the best experience I ever had? Probably not. But it's an experience, and I'm an eye in it. It's a pool. I'm a swimmer. I'm gonna get wet. That's really all that I thought to it. Wasn't until I saw that best friend that I thought, damn, they really trying to run me from my pockets.
What? She's not going after the man.
What do you mean?
She's letting them do it. I'm going to differentiate that a predator. To be a predator, you have to prey on them. You have to go at it and get them. Okay. In this case, the way people see it is the guys that are predators, because they're trying to get the girls. It's just the girls are not going to budge and say no. They're not going to budge and say yes. But they're using their prey likes to get what they want, but it's not.
Women are using the fact that they are not going to be seen as the approacher to claim that, well, I wasn't interested, he came to me, as a justification for why they won't turn a guy down and not make him waste his money by saying, listen, I have a boyfriend, you're very cute, I could probably have a nice 5 hours of fun with you, but I don't want to waste your time. I also don't want to waste your money. It is better if I tell you straight up that I don't want it, and that you should give it to someone else. You'll find someone else, maybe a guy, but you should go talk to one of those other girls. I'm not the one. I don't want to be the one. You don't want me to be the one. I'm gonna fuck your life up. I'm gonna fuck your life up. But they don't say that. They don't say that. Men, oh, we will say that shit to you. Oh, we will clown on a motherfucker when it comes to some rejection. Cause, it's our time now. It's our time now. But even then, we try to do this shit in a way that you've probably never had done to you before. Because, you know, women love new experiences. But that's just me. Maybe I'm the one out of pocket. I'm not. But maybe I'm the one out of pocket.
I got a ponder.
Okay, so I'll give it to you.
No, you know what?
No,
I just said it out loud, and this is what it is. I just said it out loud,
Go ahead.
and it's, at the end of the day, you're being a predator because you're still taking advantage. At the end of the day.
When I'm saying predatory, I'm not saying people are predators or like some kind of. I'm not trying to use a crazy
Still
word.
think-
What I'm trying to say is, okay, you go to the club knowing you're not gonna spend money.
Yeah.
You go to the club looking for these dudes. You dress in a certain type of way to be a little bit. Yeah, I do it for the dudes. Sure, they're not, but they're going out there expecting these drinks.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you ain't dressing like a nun to go to the club, and there's a reason.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not people.
Especially when you accept these drinks, there's a reason. Anybody trying to tell me otherwise? When her titties are out, oh, they love me for my personality, my charm. She knows what she's doing. I'm not even mad. I'm just saying, let's not put a veneer of like, it's me.
Let's not pretend. Because you attracted, basically, the reason why they're predators, I just said it out loud and I figure out. Sometimes I have to say it out loud and figure it out. I just see. They attracted and they took advantage of.
I'm not, listen, it's important to say this. I don't want this word to mean nothing. When I'm saying they're being predatory, I'm just saying that they are hunting.
Damn, that's not
I'm not saying they're predators, okay? What I am trying to say is y'all taking advantage of.
People that diddle kids have the same memo.
I was going to go that far. But, go ahead.
They attract and they take advantage.
I wasn't going to go that dramatic, but okay.
I did. I mean, it's the same. It's a different degree. I get it. But I mean, I said it out loud. And I'm like, no, they attract and then they take advantage of it. I'm like, yes.
I'm so disappointed in you, though.
Why?
You're going to go your best friend a day after breaking up with your boyfriend. That means you wanted to your best friend while you were dating your boyfriend.
It's kind of more complicated. Like,
It's not complicated.
It's not complicated.
You can want to fuck a couple of times. People really think that, oh, I want to fuck one person, like that's one person. I don't know in what kind of romance land you live, but that's not how it works. There's a lot of people that you could be attracted to. That motherfucker look good, that motherfucker look good, that motherfucker look good, but you got that one piece, that's your main piece, you understand? So you do your thing right there. And my girl, no, it's not complicated. Stop. You just don't want to look bad, okay? You don't want to be called whatever, okay? Knock, knock, who's there? Whore. You know what I mean? You don't want to be calling into that. But at the end of the day, let's not, I don't know what kind of la la land is. No, it's just me. You thinking about me all the time. You think about me every day. I'm the one. It doesn't work like that, guys. Maybe I'm the only one, but it doesn't work like that, okay? There's a lot of motherfuckers that you can look while still doing your thing. Come on now, B.
I watch that, I'm like, just hearing how disgusted they are by these men. It's like, damn, you think of these people as like subhuman almost, like losers. Interesting. Interesting. But I digress. Maybe you guys disagree, you see it differently. Maybe you like buying girls drinks, you know what I mean? Whatever it might be. We want to hear from you. Let us know.
Like, it's weird because Ethan is trying to throw her softballs, but he almost, like, traps her into this conversation without even...
Autoplay's on. Wonderful. Now, as I've been breached from my timeline, I need to go back through my list and see if there's shit that I haven't watched yet. Because there's plenty of shit that I have here. Ah, yes. Who wants to hear about some of the Twitch drama that was occurring while people were hearing about supposed mischief? Let's have this explained to us by Richard Lewis. Yes. The long and short of it is streamer Miskiff, person who created OTK, had a friend that touched some women, groped them at a party. Him and a popular female streamer tried to cover it up to protect said friend. Blew up amongst the inner circles of people. One of the many reasons why you have been seeing a lot of Twitch streamers say, I want to make a jump. I want to make a jump off the platform. This place isn't popping as hot as much. It's because one of the biggest people who does all the collaborations is effectively going to get banned. And they are also going to be losing a lot of money when it comes for the come up with their monetization. So they're looking to see where they can be able to go to get some money. Period. Deadass. End of. Just normal shit.
I've been telling you for a while now how like fucked up the Twitch platform is. It's got a lot wrong with it. There's a lot rotten at its core, culturally, but also as well just in terms of the way the company changed. Now, I've said this before, I was one of the original journalists that broke the story back when Google were trying to buy them, and it was the, they got shut down on antitrust laws, and then Amazon came in and picked them up, and that was deemed to not be such a conflict, because I think the original plan was Alphabet wanted to buy Twitch and then eventually integrate that with YouTube and make Twitch the live stream component. I remember when it first got bought, everybody was talking about the incredible untapped potential of Twitch. Now, I've been around Twitch for a while, I was there when it used to be just in TV. I watched when they had the great battle with Owned with a 3 in the name, Owned TV, and Owned were massively overpaying the League of Legends streamers that were coming through in kind of that like golden age after StarCraft 2 and the arrival of Twitch and YouTube really turbocharged these four. They were talking about, you watch a fucking, your favorite streamer, the noise of his keyboard comes up, it tells you what the keyboard he's got, and you can go and buy it through, potentially with even a referral link, with just 2 clicks. It was going to have full, like, Fire integration. There was all these, like, videos of what it was going to do, and it looked like Google Glass and all sorts of shit that was being talked about internally. And in the end, none of that ever happened.
I remember talking to, I think I've watched this already, but we're going to watch it again, because I had things I wanted to say during it. I remember explaining this to Aiden when we watched this, while we were reviewing the upcoming content. And the thing about that is that feature of integration already does exist on the platforms. It is effectively what happens when you have a partnership deal with a company, and you can use a referral code link to have something featured in a banner on your stream. That's like, buy gems, buy gold, buy premium currency with me. And then the link to the store, those links give a kickback to the streamer. They get a percentage of the sales of what you buy paid directly to them from that company. So if you ever wondered why your favorite streamer sells in-game currency on their stream, if you've ever wondered why that is, how they do that at, where they do that at, that's where they do that at. That's why they do that at. It's not an underhanded practice because of the fact that it outright tells you that it is, but it is one of the many things that were promised in the creation of Twitch as a platform. That's why many people wanted to be on Twitch. They wanted it to be the opportunity place where they would make all their dreams come true, where I could play the game, and then people could watch me play the game, and then what people could watch me get better at playing the game, and they could also buy money through my link from the game. It's a nice and groovy transaction. But that did not substantiate that way. That's actually probably one of the worst things that have not actually been given to multiple people. It's only ever been given to people who have been decided it should be given to them. But, yeah.
In fact, what we quickly realized, and what I quickly realized, and other industry people quickly realized, and the community didn't, was that YouTube live streaming had better tech. Actually, a YouTube stream was generally a better thing for like tournaments, especially like competition, generally a better thing to watch than Twitch itself, which had a bunch of problems. But of course, the kids, they only want to do what they know. It doesn't have PogChamp in the chat, slightly different. And so people, when the first big deals started coming in from like, Facebook, which it was trash, but they were paying money, and YouTube, people rejected every alternative fucking streamer. And meanwhile, Twitch, that should have been the license to win the war, but instead they spunked $90 million fucking on the Overwatch League for exclusivity of that. We got rid of the person that made that deal, and then said, yeah, but really massively overpaying for these esports leagues. Let's scale that back. But anyway, in terms of untapped potential, you'll never see anything like what Amazon's done with Twitch. It's actually crazy. Like, Twitch was the largest live stream platform by a million miles. It had all the big names, best talent. It was being really innovative once they let you be innovative. Because remember, it was gaming only back in the past. You weren't allowed to talk to people, as stupid as that sounds. They had to play Hearthstone if they wanted to talk to their audience. That was Hearthstone used to be the just chatting section. That was the joke. It was the flagship of just chatting. But anyway, they opened all of that up. They were killing the game, but they had this tech deficit, problems with like the scaling, 4K streams, issues with this, and they just haven't done anything with it. The front page still looks like it does. The back end still looks like it always has. And all they've added to it are some sort of bells and whistles. Like, who really cares about hype trains? And who really cares about certain types of emote? And who really cares about bits and cheers and all this? All of these things that they added onto it weren't really what creators wanted and haven't really driven the platform forward. Meanwhile, if you look at what YouTube's been doing, shit, even Mixer to a certain degree. I mean, they failed and massively overspent and then ended up shutting up shop. They gambled and lost essentially. But at the end of the day, Twitch is lagging behind by some distance, and the ideas they're coming up with, not great. They're not innovating anymore. And in fact, Amazon, all indications are Amazon are going to squeeze Twitch into oblivion to make more money. They're already forcing ads on people. They're already incentivizing streamers to play more ads on their stream. And spoiler, it starts.
True. Can attest. Streams, videos will play regardless of whether or not I queue them up or not. You will get the pre-roll that happens when you first click onto the stream and have not been watching. You will get mid-roll opportunities for ads. Ads themselves do not pay up or pay out enough because they literally just don't. They never have. It's just a way that if I don't play ads, they will force the ad on you. Whereas if I choose a moment during a specific amount of downtime, like I'm between matches in ranked, if I play an ad during the queue and the champion select, you won't get served an ad in the middle of the game. Because at the most, I could be able to play a 1, 2, or 3 minute ad and be able to save you maybe an hour of potential. That goes out the window if that's not there. That's something I don't get to choose much as often anymore. If I was a partner, I could probably be able to do that. I could maybe argue, hey, I'd like to be able to have this, and this, but I don't get to do that. Not for me. Not for Coral. Not at all for Coral.
With the carrot, but it will be the stick. Probably by 2024, to stream on Twitch, you will have to play ads. That's where I think it's going to go. They will mandate you must play ads. And they'll create a little setting so it does it for you, so you don't have to click the buttons, but they will mandate that you have to play the ads because they're underserving people at the moment. They're advertising partners with people don't want to interrupt the flow of their chat, don't want to interrupt their stream to play an ad. When especially they make fuck all on ads, right? It's all in the subs, it's all in the donations, right? That's where the money's at. And so yeah, Twitch has just been fallow, hasn't really been pushed, but all that's changing. And now
I would say that it's worse than just it's in the subs, it's in the donations. Because most of my biggest contributions, they don't come from donations on stream. They come from donations from my Subscribestar. I can attest that there is a very large high roller that will remain unnamed, who is the biggest person for that. The subs themselves, they don't make up a lot. Not without recurring payments or features. When people like this do giant gifted sub donations, that money does come back to me eventually. But you also have to remember that that's a sub that somebody gave to that person. They're not indulged to renew it. And it sounds like I'm being about money right now. I'm really not. I'm just being honest. The thing that would matter more to me is if every 2 streams, randomly within different intervals, people were to have donated money in the amount of $2, $3, $5, $10, $20. Every 2 streams I did throughout a consistent week, that would equal up more money than any advertising opportunity would ever be supplied to me. Like, it's like getting an advertisement for a company like HelloFresh. I would make money off of it. It'd be an easy thing to integrate. It would not be that hard to get a paid sponsorship deal through them. And yet at the same time, I'm not sure if I'd be interested in that paid sponsorship deal because I don't think I'd get value out of it. And even if I were to get value out of it, I cannot ensure that my audience gets value out of what I'm doing because now I'm having to add another thing that I gotta stop the stream for. Another thing that I gotta worry about the stream for. Another thing that I have to be concerned about for the stream for. That's not fun if I gotta stop and start my content just to ensure that I can feed myself. Let alone any other thing I wish I could do.
Just massive negative headlines. Because let's also talk about one of the bigger problems on Twitch. Its moderation is garbage. And you're going to go, Richard, how
True!
when generally the thing you get pissed off about is, over moderation. Well, it's like, look, okay, here's the thing. If you're going to ban a streamer like Destiny for expressing a position that is certainly out there in the mainstream spectrum of thought and discussion because he gets into a brouhaha on Twitter, if you're going to take that stand, then you're going to ban someone for 7 days for purposefully having drunken sex on your platform. You're going to ban someone for 3 days for literally turning on their camera, turning around, spreading their ass cheeks, and giving you the full invite to the fucking captain's table so they can advertise their OnlyFans. If you're going to turn a blind eye to people advocating for fucking terrorist attacks on your platform, let's be real, your moderation's kind of all over the place. And ever since Emmett Shear said, please hold us accountable and blah, 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 their moderation policies have got worse. And here's the worst part of it. When that Twitch leak happened, I saw their internal documents about how to issue bans. And a fucking moron could follow these. A cretin. It's so easy to understand when a case is beyond borderline when it isn't. It's insane to me that any of these weird bans keep happening. It's probably because they're training a fucking algorithm like everyone else, because the algorithm can never be wrong. You know, you have to fucking fight tooth and nail just to talk to a person at these companies, which is unacceptable when your livelihood's all tied up in it. And by virtue of my livelihood being tied up in it, Twitch's livelihood is being tied up in it. I'm a business partner, and yet they treat creators like absolute shit unless you're in that very, very top 1% and in the top 1% that happens to prescribe to the particular favoured political outlook in America right now. The moderation policy has been a joke, and the type of content that they allow through is like, I can't make head nor tail of it. You can't have an intelligent political conversation on Twitch. You can't. You can do the debate bro bullshit, but if you want to get into a really important topic where certain words are going to have to be used, certain topics are going to have to be brought up, certain unpleasant historical happenings are going to have to be used as a reference point for where we are now in society, you can't do those things on Twitch. However, if I want to take my t-shirt off, get my breasts out and paint them blue, I can do that. If I want to sit in a swimming pool in a swimsuit, and by the way, not
Shout outs to the corn! The unicorn, not the actual corn. Remember when a woman tried to harass us and used her tits as a weapon? And I destroyed her? Remember when that happened, guys? Good times. Good times. Good times. Good times.
not approved. I don't give a fuck. I'm all for that content. The point is, you're banning the other stuff. I can sit in a pool and write on a whiteboard that the top donator is my boyfriend for the day. That's allowed. I can sit there, clearly cracked out of my fucking mind, pulling virtual slots all day.
Let me read that. Let me read that. Also, if I minimize this, it's going to affect the size. I don't think it does. No, it affects it a little bit. Hey, Carl. Hello, Moon. This is you talking real in business. I like the transparency. Do you think this could be fixed with less AI and more flesh mods? Having more physical moderators for the website, for Twitch, would be a helpful step, but the problem is that you would still end up with the same roundabout results because they are also ideologically possessed. The majority of most broadcasters, the majority of most popular broadcasters, and the majority of most moderation staff, as we have seen over the last few years, they're all ideologically possessed by the same ideological movements. They're not going to make a ruling in favor of you if they believe they can go and talk a very particular and specific way, because of the fact that that's just how they speak and act. I see. Sorry, I got a text about work. But they're ideologically possessed. In order for them in order for things to basically improve, it needs to be purchased by a person who's able to bring back the old culture of Twitch. The old culture of Twitch circa 2014, immediately after the reveal and the discussion had about Twitch Plays Pokemon. The height at which this entire platform had been at its most collective respect of each other and of what it is we were there to do, which was to play video games. That's what the culture has to return back to. It cannot get back there because they're too focused on trying to worry about people like Keffels being supposedly harassed and harmed by people like Destiny, while they continue to use the platform as the worst kind of issue. Actually, I can relate this directly to what's currently happening at work, but I will not tell you exactly what's going on, because that's proprietary. When you're in a work environment, let's say in your work environment, someone harasses you, right? They walk up to you, they say to you, in clear view of multiple people, customers, employees, managers, I'm gonna blank you. I'm gonna blank you with this can. And then you say nothing. You go into your job the next day, statement in hand, ready, written, prepared, printed out, time signature, date, stamp. Like live recordings, a recorded log of the person saying it, multiple handwritten accounts and testimonies, hand signatures of trusted customers, some of the biggest spenders saying, oh yeah, that person definitely said that shit. I was standing right here. Like that person, he took that, he nodded his head, and he walked away. He made sure he didn't get an altercation at all. That person who says that then comes into the business. They then create an altercation with you, but they try to set you up as the villain of the situation. And then you say to them, wait, pause. What are you doing? And from wait, pause, they then tell a sob story of, and then he said he was gonna kick me in my ass. He threatened me with a cutter. It wasn't his hand, but he implied it because he did this with his hands and then rubbed his temple. That means he wanted to cut me outside the back of the shed. And then they use that as a manipulation tactic to try and use upper management to punish you. That is what it feels like Twitch does. Because it is what it's doing. You have people who are part of the moderation team effectively treating you like dog shit. And then, when you have to address the system to get some form of reformative justice for the action, you don't actually get justice. Because they're abusing the system to keep you silent. It's not just an abuse of the chain of command. It is the kind of petty behavior that destroys a person's ability to trust not just the system, but other people. Because here's examples that prove, hey, when the chips are down, you guys will treat us like shit. You will lie to us. You will do this, you will do that. And nothing to the contrary proves otherwise. That's a horrible thing. Yes, it is very much like Amber Heard. It is very much like a person uses the public court of opinion to slander you, while at the same time playing a crybaby. It is the most toxic thing possible. And now run that through the layer of egotistical streamers and egotistical e-girl streamers. And you can see how big it is. They're all commies, is what I'm telling you.
Can do that, can I? You know, with like just the pathetic age gating on Twitch. Mature audiences only. I can do that. But people get fucking banned if they want to talk about 1940s Germany and they put a picture on. Hassan got banned for playing a clip from a Michael Moore documentary with a dead body in it for educational purposes. This picture's fucked up. It's all over the place. Their moderation policies and what type of content they allow have essentially created this strange place where they say things like, we would never have an adult section on our website because advertisers wouldn't like it. And yet they do have an adult section because if you're, and again, this isn't like a male or female thing, if you're wearing revealing clothes, you know, I'd probably argue there's some like hot buff fucking gay dudes that do gym streams or whatever, make a killing on Twitch. It's still sort of, it's walking that line as to what's sexualized and what isn't. And so if you're going to allow that, you may as well go all in because these people keep pushing the boundaries. They said, listen, you can have an OnlyFans, but you can't advertise an OnlyFans on Twitch. And then everyone finds a way to get around it. You can have somebody fillet a microphone in the ASMR section. We know what them noises are about. ASMR, when I were a kid, didn't exist when I was a kid, but when I were a kid, ASMR was somebody fucking reading you a bedtime story, essentially. It was just someone whispering. And, oh, that's nice. Reminds me of when Mummy, not Daddy was in jail, but when Mummy would read me a bedtime story. That's nice. That's ASMR, right? It's not somebody fucking doing that on a microphone, is it? That's not ASMR. That's blowjob noises. That's what that is. That's blowjob noises for money. That's what that is, right? So it's ridiculous. They're all over the place. And it creates this weird world where Twitch are always going to fall in to these negative headlines because they won't take a hard...
Horrible, man. Didn't you say that Beyond was supposed to be coming by today? When? I am ready. I need a pen. Had a fidelity payment come through. I need a pen to sign it. Anyways.
Hardline stance on particular things, like the gambling streams. Just before we talk about the whole slicker and the gambling stuff, you're going to go, Richard, you're sponsored by a betting company. How can you be against gambling? Let's be clear. Let's set the table about what I believe. First of all, I know people can get hooked on sports betting and stuff like that, right? Which is why I only work with betting companies that are licensed, typically licensed to the highest level of accreditation. For example, you can license, in Malta or Curacao. I'm not talking about, the license in, fucking some Eastern European country you've not heard of or whatever. I'm talking about those licenses. I'm talking about companies that insist on ID and age gating. I've always vetted the companies for that. And I also don't have a problem with sports betting or even gambling ethically whatsoever. I think...
Sam, when people say things like bettings, I'm going to give y'all a take that is probably going to seem wild to some of you, but to everybody else who hears it is like, oh yeah, of course, obviously. People who say that sports betting and normal random chance equal fair play casinos are the same people who do not understand why, but claim that they do, as to why children playing MOBAs, games as a service titles, like Rumbleverse, like Fortnite, roll your pick. Doesn't matter which kind. Roll your pick. And then buying skins in those games, cosmetic features that are bound to their account. People who give takes about gambling that don't understand gambling are people who do not understand that every single time, let's use League of Legends for example, every time you go into League of Legends and you buy a new legendary skin directly with your money, that premium currency, those skins, those are non-fungible tokens. And the loot box system in and of itself is a form of gambling. That take is not the obvious take. The other take is the one I just said. That those of you who probably don't understand or didn't want to know what an NFT is, own several NFTs. And the people who are saying, oh my god, gambling's bad, they don't actually understand why gambling's bad, and they don't understand what constitutes gambling. Because they only have reference points. And it's from those reference points that they then give their opinion. So for example, the Counter-Strike loot case openings. People having streams on websites where they are showing off the things that they got from loot crates that they bought from a particular website. That they're rolling on these websites. The Pro Syndicate and CSGO Lotto situation. That was a form of gambling. Not just gambling with real money, but gambling with features that were a consequence of the Steam marketplace. To this day, people still sell off those crates. Even in games like Payday 2, for example. And shit, that doesn't even mention games that are constantly being updated with paid expansions like Payday 2. Those games. Those experiences. Those things. That's not happening in a vacuum. There are people participating in it, who are directly responsible for feeling it, that do not understand what is actually happening. But they keep talking anyways, because they heard an opinion from somewhere else, and they haven't figured it the fuck out. And yes, it's fucking dumb as shit. Because the people who usually do that are probably the biggest sellout pigs. They're the biggest people selling the fuck out. On a regular basis. On a regular basis. They're the most common people who sell out. And do money deals. Remember Scooch? The hard struck gold streamer? Throwing a ranting tantrum about his girlfriend? Pull that up real quick. Remember this boy? Remember this man? Remember this man right here? This man right there. That one? Yeah. That's a league streamer. LPP. Earning hella money. Hella Skrilla. Shilling people to play Wild Rift. But guys! Seraphine! Predatory practices! But your girlfriend does the same shit. And you make money off of her and yourself and that. Those takes those conventions, those discussions, that shit happens not in a vacuum. They talk about things that would be good press to distract from the shit that's bad press for themselves.
With sports betting, the risks are clear and explicit because you have these things called odds. And when you place a bet, you see the odds. Yes, you're thinking about the return. Yes, you're thinking you're going to be able to beat the bookmaker. And occasionally, you will. Sometimes, you won't. You have to be dialed in to do it regularly. You really got to know your stuff. That's why I consider it sort of like a game of skill in a way. I don't have an issue with it, ethically.
So, for people who play only mobile games, and you have banners, you know how for a lot of these Japanese games, they are required to tell you the actual odds of the top star? For me, the relative point that I confer this to is to D2, because I haven't played D2 in a while. By choice. I haven't quit the game, although I guess I have kind of stopped playing it for now. Mainly so I can focus on this. But, in D2, it is required that they show you on the banner, in the more information section, they are required to show you the drop rate, what's in the drop rate, what you can get from the drop rate, and exactly the percentages of how each one is levied out within it. So, for example, on a premium banner, a normal purchase gem banner, a person pays, I don't even remember what the rolls are right now. I want to say, on a normal banner, that's not a premium banner. First roll, 500 gems. 10 rolls. In those 10 rolls, you have a maximum 3% chance that any of those rolls could be a 6-star. And then from that, like a 15 chance that it's a 5-star. And then from that, a 30 to 60% chance, depending on how rare it is and what the banner is, if it's not specified to a certain demon race, that it's a 4-star. And then base 3s as the fodder material. No 1-stars, no 2-stars. And they all come with a premium item effect. You can get a consistent amount of gems in the game for free. An actual free-to-play experience that's actually viable, that can be done, because it's like all other mobile games. There are other players playing in the server, but unless you're playing PvP, you will never interact with them. And even with the base level shit you have, you can at least be able to make a certain amount of Skrilla just doing the basic normal content. However, the kind of gambling that we deal with from modern gaming companies, they do not tell you what's in a loot box. They tell you what you have a chance of winning. But you do not get to see the actual shit in the box. That is probably the worst form, and is the reason why, in places dealing with companies like Activision Blizzard, why in games like Overwatch, in the EU, because of the rules that they have banning that kind of practice, that you can, instead of paying money for loot boxes, you can unlock them with experience. The very same thing there. That's a factor that is attributable directly to Apex Legends. They do the same thing there with Respawn Entertainment. Change your EA account's location from a place like the US to a place like Belgium. Be able to unlock a new character with actual crafting currency rewarded to you as you level up, instead of being made to pay. Actual shit! Which I say to say that if people have to game the system in order to avoid paying you money, there's a problem with your company. You should probably change how you monetize yourself, but what do I know? I'm just a really good player.
Always thought America were prudes when it comes to that. Never understood why it was illegal over there. Because, I grew up around, people used to bet on the horses, bet on the dogs on a weekend. I've never had an issue with that. I don't think you'll have ever seen me have a stance. Now, when it's not regulated, obviously got a problem with it. When it's not age-gated, obviously got a problem with it. When it's these fly-by-night companies that you don't know where they're getting the, even if they do have a license, where's it from, who are they, and they literally just open up and then fuck off like a lemonade stand, obviously I got a problem with it. I'll also say on top of it, I wouldn't ever endorse crypto gambling, which you'll have noticed. I don't begrudge the guys that went on to have that as a sponsor on their content. But a big part of why we stopped doing the show is because I didn't want to endorse it. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I didn't want to be the guy doing the ad reads. I didn't want to take a paycheck. I had fucking crazy psychopaths saying to me, oh, you sold out for DJ. They never paid me a dime. I wouldn't take the money, right? Simple as that. So I've never been paid for any. But again, this is how I have to live my life, right? I've never got paid a single dime for any of the content I did on that channel. Never been paid for the Horseman. Never been paid for that series of BTN, even though that was a sponsor. Never took a penny. You can fucking take that. You can take that to the bank because I don't trust crypto and all that stuff. I've always said it's a scam. I've always said it's bullshit. So it's not for.
It is. I believe crypto. Let me refine that. I believe that cryptocurrency can be used as a method to prevent people from trying to use fiat currency lockdown to control the dollar and currency in general, and try to force you into becoming a subservient slave to a fascist state. Actual fascist state. Not fascist because they didn't let me get extra chai tea in my latte at Starbucks. However, to the point where I have a person tell me I should get in on the ground floor with a particular kind of currency because you don't want to miss out, and they try to use fear of missing out to manipulate me into buying something that is effectively a scam, something that's very obviously a scam, like D-Live and the Lino coin. I find that cringe. Can't get me to do that shit. Even when I saw that being done with mines, I felt iffy about that. But hey, it's a different alternative platform. I should at least make an account. Past that, past the currency I can control, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. That's scary. Financial ruin. It got me quaking in my little ochre boots.
For me, it's not something I want to do. And it's just typical that my life is, I get all of the grief as if I've committed the sin, but I get none of the money that I would have got for committing whatever the sin is. And as I said, by the way, those guys don't have an issue with it, and they've never had an issue with it, and they're very open about what they have issues with. Like, for example, Monty has said, when me and Duncan said we will not take the salary, you understand that me and Duncan walked away from it. It was something like $6 million. It was millions of dollars we turned down to fucking create that company because it was coming from the Savvy Gaming Group, essentially, or, would have come through Faces. So we literally walked away from millions. Monty wanted the millions, but we took a bet on it, and then I quit the company anyway because I'm like, one, segueing out of esports, two, didn't want to necessarily endorse the main sponsor. Happy to appear on a show because I'm essentially a recurring guest on the Horseman, but I'm not being paid to be there. I'm doing it in my own time for you guys. So I don't know what more I have to do to not get called a fucking shill or a sellout. I haven't sold out. I have many chances to really sell out. And then when I do take a sponsor, you create false equivalences. So look, at the end of the day, that's my view on betting. Now, gambling, games of chance, I don't think I would ever, and I've had these talks, I turned down all the skins casinos when they were going around. I've turned down betting sites that have casinos and coin flip games and fake roulette on there. I've had talks with mainstream gambling sponsors from countries you wouldn't believe they would even want to sponsor me because why the fuck would they on an English-speaking stream? But I turned it all down, and those are all like six-figure deals. They're all gone because I think there's something different about pulling a slot, spinning a wheel, flipping a coin. I don't think that's like...
It's because you don't think about it. You stop thinking about it. When it's just a transaction that goes to the bank, when it's just a single button press that says, do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? This is something that we know for a fact. Jeremy the Quartering can attest to this because this is a job that he used to have. I can attest to this because when I was involved in multiple fucking organizations when I was still in college, it was my job to remind people of that kind of fucking danger. It is a dangerous thing to remove the barriers of protection that should keep people out of illegal and evasive behavior. And yet, all you have ever seen them do with these websites is try to take away those barriers of protection. And I'm not a fan of it.
Like a game of skill where you're looking at the odds, it doesn't help you engage with the sport. I think those things are more addictive. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not a scientist, but if those types of gambling feel more addictive to me, they look like they would be more addictive. And you don't know the odds. You're not counting the cards. People always tell themselves with the coin toss, like, well, it's been tails 10 times in a row. There's no chance it could be 11 in a row. Well, it costs us a chance. This is the point. Your brain just can't comprehend it. And so I think a lot of those things are a bit more dangerous because they're not being transparent with the odds. It's the same with the loot crates. Another sponsor I turned down. In fact, I was the guy that went to one of the major designers of all of these fake loot crate, skins loot crate opening sites that were sponsoring all of the streamers on Twitch, which Twitch didn't say anything about, didn't have any problems with it. And I wrote an article and put it up on my own website. It was that long ago, Total Biscuit, retweeted it, God bless you, John, God rest your soul. And it blew up, and the guy in there said, we can just go in the back end and set the fucking odds of the drops to what we want. That's why the streamers win when they're streaming.
That's the CSGO lotto situation.
So literal fake advertising, but when you do it, we can put it into something. He literally said, in the industry, they called it rape mode, is what they called it. Because you basically had no chance of winning, and you would keep opening these cases and getting shit out of it. It's all in the article. You can go and fucking read it. So that's what I did. So I turned down all those sponsors as well. But here's the thing. Once it becomes clear a particular type of sponsor is a fucking scam, is bullshit, why is the platform, the literal conduit through which is advertised, why aren't they clamping down on that sponsor? Why aren't they saying, if you want to stream on Twitch, you can have the sponsor? They turn a blind eye every time. They turn a blind eye every time. You're always going to end up with something like this, which is what you've got. And Twitch have acted way too late, and in a way that I don't think people quite comprehend what's actually happened. I'm seeing people saying, they're banning all gambling. It's like, no, they're not. They're definitely not. But anyway, how do we get here? How do we start with this ridiculous chapter in Twitch's history? My old friend, Slicker. You might remember Slicker. Slicker was like a controversial streamer. I never really understood why, but then again, I never really followed any of his like work. But I met Slicker through doing what's now the Austin Royale, if that's still going. Back when he used to be called Raj, and it was the Raj Royale, and obviously doing the Trainwrecks podcast, right? And that was when I was trying to make a more concerted effort to get out there and meet streamers and meet people in the Twitch community for a couple of reasons. One, yeah, selfishly, increase my profile a little bit and, you know, interact with different audiences that might not ordinarily find my work, and so they can come and watch my stuff, and, you know, maybe that'll help in some way, because there's a lot of misinformation out there on Twitch, especially with politics and news streams. But also as well, a lot of these streamers, I feel very sorry for them, because there are a lot of unscrupulous journalists in the gaming sphere, in the streaming sphere, and they use them for stories. They're in their orbit. They're not reporting on them responsibly. I mean, remember the drama with Ninja saying he didn't want to play with girls because he wanted to respect his wife. That quote was obtained, I believe, at a party when Ninja was going to the toilet, or had just come out of the toilet, and somebody asked him that. That is some of the most irresponsible shit I've ever heard of. Them having a journalist that they can trust. Sorry, someone says, wasn't that Jason R? You're obviously a new kid. Before the Jason R drama, it happened to Ninja first. It was at the height of Ninja Mania, so he was like a soft target. It was really weird as well, because he did elaborate in a subsequent thing. Like, I don't get it. I mean, it's not what I would have said. It's not what I believe. I think it's a bit like cringe, and I don't think it helps women in gaming spaces when you have like the #1 gamer in the world effectively at that time. So I wouldn't play with women because my community blow it up and make it a drama. But at the end of the day, the way that quote was obtained was hugely problematic, and the way that story played out, the reporting was done because he was the big name and it was guaranteed clicks. And so, you know, I've worked with a lot of streamers in the past to ensure that, like, if there's an inaccuracy in a Deserto article, we get it corrected. If they feel they want to go on the record and say something about a happening, a drama, an incident, I make sure that they have a channel to talk to reporters at Deserto. If they ever wanted to tell me something in confidence, maybe I can back channel and help them at Twitch or whatever, because of my journalistic connections, they know that window's open to them. So I wanted to get out there and see as many streamers as possible, and it was good. And Slicker was someone he did talk to me, you know, sort of on occasion behind the scenes. So I was very surprised. He never asked me for any money, never hit me up for any money. But when I saw this story, it was like, man alive, this is the real face of what's going on. Now, this particular case is gambling addiction, but if you understood how much financial malfeasance the average Twitch streamer gets, like, it operates under, like a lot of these, you know, really big streamers, they went years without declaring taxes, and they never thought they'd get big and be noticeable, and then they get an accountant, and then they have to do all the back taxes, and then suddenly all that money they've made because they spent it all, they was pissing it up against the wall every month. They're like, oh shit, actually I'm fucking broke all of a sudden, you know? It's like, they really fucking don't think too much about it. But this was obviously related to the gambling issue that was on Twitch. And so here it is. A Twitch streamer has admitted he lied to fans and fellow influencers when asking for money, raising at least 200,000. I think subsequently we found out it's closer to 300,000 to fund his gambling habit. In a confession video, which was spotted by Kotaku, Abraham Slicker Mohammed said he would tell followers and peers his bank account was locked and needed money to prevent any impact to his credit score, or that his payments from Twitch hadn't been processed. However, he was using this money to gamble on the outcome of Counter-Strike Global Offensive matches. When he ran out of money from his job, as well as his Twitch income, he began borrowing money from other streamers. In his confession video, he promised that he would eventually pay back all of his creditors, which, spoiler, there is zero chance of that happening. And this is a common thing when it comes to people who have like gambling addictions. Certainly, for example, when I was reporting on TSM and their coach, and remember how he said he needed tens of thousands of dollars to pay for his grandmother's medical bills, and the story didn't quite add up, and he couldn't produce.
This is a Zoo One situation. There was a streamer, or excuse me, there was a coach for some new players and streamers that signed a person to an organization that made them pay stipends to him. He was asked by a player to sell a guy's car. He sold the car, pocketed the money, didn't think he'd have to pay it back, was fucking around with it, and eventually he was removed from the organization. That's the long and short of that story.
A receipt when asked and all of this stuff. My immediate assumption was this is a gambling problem. This is a classic gambling problem. If you've ever been around people that have, you know, gambling issues, one of the things that will often happen is they'll need money, and they'll need money for the most fantastical reason.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that question. I should believe Activision is banning you for that. They shouldn't ban you for it, because realistically, if it's how the game... Well, first off, my opinion about Overwatch is that you shouldn't have been loot creating people to begin with anyways. I don't like the game as a service model, and this is really bad, because why do you have fucking loot crates in a game that I paid for? That's the real fucking cap about it. That's the real cap about Overwatch. People already have to pay $60 to play the game. Every character is already unlocked. Why are you trying to sell me legendary shit? Do you want to have it locked behind currencies earned from timed events that are a part of the holiday or celebration season, or an event that you have going on in the game? Absolutely. by all means. You're trying to be the new TF2, and that's half the reason why there's so many people playing that game anyways. They want TF2, but they can't have Team Fortress 2, because unless they're playing a private server they controlled, it's been ruined and destroyed by bots. And Steam isn't doing anything to fix it. But on the other end of that, you're telling people to pay you money so they can play your game. And then you're going to try and sell them loot boxes to get a legendary skin that means nothing and does nothing and is nothing? I would rather them fucking pay to get a goddamn coach session to be a better player. Not look more fashionable on the Rift. Not look more fashionable on the map. Now, my opinion on internet cafes and pachinko machines. We don't have pachinko lounges or gambling halls like that of Japan. But internet cafes, I go into a business, I say, I would like to purchase 5 hours of game time. I have credit with them. I buy, I purchase, I use my money. I buy, I purchase, I use my money. That is different. And the reason why it's different is because that is a model for those who do not have the time or capacity to have their own high-powered rig. Personal computing, despite becoming more affordable within the last 10 years, and let's not talk about the poof, which strangulated the prices out of the fucking wing-wang. The prices are just going down. We don't want to fucking jinx it. For people who are just now getting into personal computing, it has always been, and will always be, expensive. But it was not always as affordable as it is now. Way back when the name Nexon of America still held actual respect amongst online portal gamers, my generation of gamer, who would sign on to the internet, they had to be given permission by their family to use the computer before they had their own, so they could sit in their bedroom and watch their hentai or watch their porn. Who would bounce between porn, game, porn, game, porn, game. And one of those games that generation of children played a lot of, I remember, because I still have them somewhere in a personal collection. But in order for you to understand this, I need to show you what I'm talking about. Back in the generation where this is what a game card looked like. I have to turn off the visibility. I need to turn off that filter so you can actually see this in its proper color. No, I know what you're talking about is Internet Casino Hall. Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Back when the Nexon game card looked like this, and looked like this, and looked like this. Fucking Kart Racer, or Kart Rider, goddamn. Kart Rider MapleStory Audition era. This is like fucking 2006, 2007, 2008. Here is even one with Audition on it. Back when the Nexon game card looked like this, or if you were lucky enough to get a box EU key that looked like this, with Nexon, with the Nexon art still on it, or even the one with the fucking Spitfire still on it, before they changed to the Karma Coin. Back in that time period, a lot of the different things. Oh man, here's even one with good MapleStory art, and then one of the better MapleStory ones. Back in the time when the things used to look like that, there were a bunch of casino halls that existed in, I'm pretty sure it was Japan and Malaysia. Japan and Malaysia. Rumble Fighters was Og Planet, and Og Planet was the shit. There was halls where you could go in and get premium bonuses from signing in to MapleStory from an internet cafe. In fact, in Kerning City, there is a specific NPC that asks to check if you're logging in from an internet cafe. But what would happen with these internet cafes is that they were used as a gambling hall for high-level raiders and Korean guilds, because Korean MMO grinder, Korean grinding guilds locking down the highest leveling spots, Korean leveling guilds locking down the highest level spots, refusing to allow you to progress and play the game unless you play it bot day. Now do you see how this connects? Yes, yes. So, internet cafes started to fall out of use in places that weren't Korea, South Korea, certain locations in China, a lot of locations in the second world that has to deal with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the Balkans, Russian gamers, Korean gamers, some Oceania players. All those people were being held hostage either by people who frequented that place or that site or that group, if not by the group themselves and the business themselves, into boosting up their numbers so they would get more business. Because the highest performing cafe was able to then court actual sponsorship deals and records and money. Still to this day, those cafes still exist. And those racketeers still exist. But not in the way that one would expect. There's plenty of games that this happened with. Flife, Ron Online, Ron World, Guns the Duel 2, which is not as good as Guns the Duel. Maple Story, when it still had a premium cash market. If an in-game system, even fucking Combat Arms, even as it exists now, if the game had an audience and had children, there was a person who tried to set up their version of CSGO Lotto. Especially with games like Combat Arms. Hell, even Audition had it. All those systems, all those places, all those games, they all suffered some form of it. Which is why those games started becoming less popular. You don't hear people playing games, going to an online gaming portal, making an account, and logging in to play something like COG Games' Elsewhere, do you? No. Why? Because those games are extremely predatory. In order for you to have actual power in that game, you have to buy that power in the form of actually being able to buy the currency that allows you to craft the equipment and succeed not at a random rate. Even Dungeon Fighter Online, before the switchover and take back, and more importantly, the transition of the Nexon team, giving it back to Neopol opening DFO Global, before then working on DNF Duel, and them moving from where they were before at their offices to Jeju Island, and this would be like 6 years back, even they had this problem. It's a concurrent issue wherever you fucking find it. And the only reason why it happens is because there are not more people who are informed on the issue. They usually get their opinions secondhand. And unfortunately, when it comes to at least Americans, if not a Westerner mindset, people do not understand gambling and how dangerous it is. The only people who do are people who either saw it and witnessed people go down pipelines about it, or people who heard about it and only know about it through context of another person telling them about it. It's very much a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. You opened up a PC parts site and you started busting out laughing. Have the prices gone up again? Because last I checked, GPU prices were falling, so people can find video cards. But I'm going to say mid-range build, PC part picker. I'm going to say, based on my own build, okay, where's my completed builds? Right, we have completed builds from people here. People making PCs out of old parts, people making current PCs, office PCs. I would say these are probably high-powered shit. That's not normal. That's definitely not normal. 3080 Ti's. I would say a mid-range build for a sensible level of gameplay would be something like this. An AMD Ryzen 5, Radeon RX 5700 XT, 800 to 1000. I would say 1000 is a fair number as a baseline. I'd go as high as saying like 1200. You're talking about fucking things like this? Wild. Because if we go back, go way back to when I put together my custom plate, like my custom. All this shit here, this is $772.69. What I have here on this list. Hold on, I will show you. On this part list, you can barely see the Carl in the corner. On this part list, as you can see, I put that together when I was first trying to get parts together. When I was still working at first the factory and then the card company, right? This was the custom build that Amy put together for me based on what was there. I have this. I have this. I think I have this. I have these. I have this. I have this. I was getting one of these. I don't believe that this is... No, this is not the one that I have. I have a Corsair Airflow. That's what I have. But I did get the bronze certified fully modular ATX power. At $772.69, right? Here's some extra shit added onto it. Added on the hard drive. I think I changed out a couple of things here. And this is for an old MSI Ventus SX OE GeForce GTX 1660 6GB video card, right? This was the build that would have been put together with a 2060 Super. And then, because of the interaction done for our lovely member of the chat, shoutouts to Mariner, the one who hooked me up with a 3060. We're running all of this shit here, including that bad boy. And he sold that to me. I think that those were going for $1,000. He sold me one for $550 in installments. Totaling this with everything else, not accounting for the $200 monitor. And this, of course, is the Corsair 40 Airflow ATX that you see I have. All of this, $1,139. That is affordable compared to what some of these people are fucking putting out here and telling you to buy. See if it's on the front page. If we can go to a featured build. A featured build that people are showing off. $4,000. $4,000. Entry-level gaming, starting up here. 657, 956, 1505. And this supposedly being the enthusiast gaming streaming build, rather than from a I want to play the games that are on the market kind of build. The comparability factor is palpable, and I don't feel comfortable about people having to pay that much money for personal computing. For the amount of money that a person can pay here, on this, they could get a lot of quality time out of that if they have a normal job, they're doing normal shit, they're going to classes, and they're using the PCs that would be available on the campus. If they want to specifically go to a place, we used to have one here in Columbus, but it shut down. It wasn't profitable enough, unfortunately. Not enough gamers wanted to leave their house to go to a place in the mall that had a closing time, because here where I live, there's only 3 things people do, and that's eat, sleep. Well, actually, no, 4 things: eat, sleep, work. Nope, 5 things: eat, sleep, work, fuck, and game. And I don't want to leave my house to go somewhere else to use somebody else's computer. I'm not interested in that. So that's the main reason why I say that. But back to what we were just talking about. Whack foo. I know how dangerous it is. I grew up in New Orleans. Lord had good gambling odds. Wise dude won like 35K one night. That's wild. Also, they gave free lunch and dinner to players. That's cool! Waiting for the 40 series to come out. I bet. Keep a tab on Gamer Nexus for whatever's going to happen there. That's a large part of my check. Yeah. You'd have to do some saving. In my view case, I've been saving for a while. And I was able to finally get it. After like 4 years of saving. I got the money, then I had to pay bills. Got the money again, had to pay bills. Got the money again, people needed my help, and I still had to pay bills. Up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. It's not money mismanagement either. It's just that's how much and how expensive it is. It's different when you say to yourself, I want to build my PC versus I'm gonna go down to Best Buy and just get whatever they have set up for me. I already knew scams. Gamer Nexus warned me, so I didn't do it. I built my shit, and now I have it.
Things that like don't really make sense. Like, think about it. My bank account has been shut down, and if I don't get money now, it'll affect my credit score. If you know a little bit about the world, you know that's like grade A bullshit. But if it's coming from someone you sort of know, you're going to be, oh, God, that's horrible. Imagine if that happened to me. I mean, I suppose it's technically possible. And why would they lie? So you give them some money. But, you know, that's like, if you've ever read the Nigerian prince mails, right? They say, oh, we've got, $53 billion in a bank account that we can't get released unless somebody from your country vouches for us. And for this, we'll give you a 10% cut. We just need your bank account, sort code, date of birth, and a photograph of your passport. Listen, obviously, I'm not victim blaming or whatever, but if someone comes to you and asks for money for like a fantastical reason, one that you know doesn't make sort of sense, you've got to pull their card. And you don't have to do it in a bad way. You have to just ask them straight up, like, what's really going on, you know? Because here's the problem. The fact that so many people just sort of in blind faith handed over thousands of dollars to him essentially enabled him the next time he did it, the next time he did it, the next time he did it, and also enabled him to get deeper and deeper in debt. Like, I saw a lot of people saying, oh, he must have had so many good friends in the streaming community. I mean, dude, they make money hand over fist, so as a gesture, it's not that big a deal. They also all have dirt on each other, and so there's a little bit of self-preservation. But you're not really being a friend if someone comes to you and just says, like, oh, I need money for this crazy reason. And you go, yeah, no problem, it's a check, fuck off, I want it back. You're not helping people.
Big true. A friend, if they are told, and I actually have this is actually a thing happening right now, because there's somebody who owes me money who hasn't paid it back yet. If a friend comes to you, and you know that person to not be the kind of person who asks for help, especially if it's a man. If one of your most trusted friends comes to you and says, I'm in trouble, I need help, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay for these bills with this money, I don't know where it's going to come from, or, I'm leaving them, I'm tired of being abused, I can't stand anymore, I have to do something, I have to protect myself, I gotta put me first, I gotta put me first. You're not gonna be like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, girl, here you go, here's some money, yeah, just pay it back to me now, yeah, whatever, alright. No, you're gonna be like, hey, wait, hold up, pause, what's going on? What's going on, girl? What's going on? You're gonna ask questions. You're gonna follow up. You're gonna be like, how did it get like this? Then you're gonna tell them, listen, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be alright. I got you, I'm here. You just don't randomly fuck off and pay somebody some money. No. The fact that streamers do that does not shock me. It's annoying and disgusting, but it doesn't shock me. And I'd like to say, at least right now to my audience, if there's somebody who asks you for money, not me, but especially me, but somebody asks you for money, and it's not a very simple one-time thing, or they don't explain it to you and they don't give you details, don't give them money. Don't give them money.
People like that, you're essentially paying them to go away, you know? Anyway, this then led to, which is what we'll get to, Pokemane, Mizkif, and Devin Nash, they all were rallying together and said we should get rid of the presence of gambling on Twitch because it's the gambling streams that made Slicker do this. Now, this doesn't make sense because Slicker said he was betting on matches and was betting with skins, all of which has been fine, and then he said he did graduate to, like, you know, betting on slots and hardcore stuff. But are we saying all gambling? Because that would be the logical thing, right? But no, what ended up happening was the two big gambling streamers on the platform right now, as in they literally sit there for 10 hours a day pulling virtual slots and losing. But I don't understand the fascination. People obviously want to watch that stuff. Is Trainwrecks, and listen, me and Train haven't talked for a while. I think last time we did it was like probably about 2 years ago now, and I would wish he would make his old content again. He keeps talking about bringing back like the Scuff podcast and stuff. I just wish he was doing anything other than pulling slots for 10 hours a day. I think he's better than that. I think he's more entertaining than that. I think the same for XQC. I think XQC, again, not my cup of tea. He knows I feel that way. I'm not a kid. I don't want to watch someone play Overwatch or Fortnite or whatever game he's playing right now. But he used to throw up like genuinely entertaining and funny moments. Like I could handle clips of XQC.
I would say when it comes to gambling, the reason why there are people who like watching it is people like watching numbers go up. It's like playing an idle game. Except the only thing that's idle about it is the pulling of the slot and the compared to something like League of Legends, that's active. I have to actively think. Or with RuneScape. I'm not necessarily clicking all that much, but I go out, I set up an activity, I set up the bank for what I need, I go back. Consistency. These kind of games entertain a certain kind of people. For the games that I play, Path of Exile, Dome Keeper, a bunch of roguelikes, Darkest Dungeon, Diablo 2. These are autism simulators. Even in itself, League of Legends is an autism simulator. The game is already fixed and solved. The only thing that is different is the variable of how the gameplay will play out from the players who are controlling and piloting the champions. But, at the end of the day, the people who are watching those streamers, they're watching for 3 factors. 1, big popular streamers playing slots, let's see what he's doing. That's just normal. 2, oh my god, did you just see that giant combo he made? He just made $50,000 in a single pull on a free spin! What? And number 3, the money he makes off those free pulls then makes other people think, ooh, I can get a win too. Which is part of the predatory cycle. It is why it's bad. Because if I play something, and this is something that we all know from content creators, if I play a certain kind of online build on a PvP game, and that build is super successful, and it is also highly recognizable, everything from Peeve to Orb, like from to Oro to Let Me Solo Her. If I have a specific iconic style of looking, feeling, acting, dressing, and everything else, people are going to emulate it. People are going to emulate it. And because we have impressionable audiences, they're going to emulate it. They're going to try and live the lifestyle of rich and famous, and then they're going to get poor.
See, no problem, they were all funny. And so it's like, you guys used to make great content, but here's the problem. The money that they get for doing these streams is off the fucking chain. You're talking millions and millions and millions a month. And obviously they're going to do what's good for them. And so it was a bit strange, I thought, that those two individuals ended up being, like, targeted as if they were the face of the problem. As I just said, Twitch turned a blind eye to all sorts of dodgy sponsors. And so
the reason why they're targeted there is because people want a bad guy. They want a bully. They want a person who's supposed to be held responsible for it. And they don't know how to extrapolate personal responsibility to incredulous infidelity of monetary viability. They want someone to point a finger at, so they can say, if we destroy this, then the bad man won't attack us anymore. Yay! Yay! Oh, yay! All the neighborhood kids come out. That one hot neighborhood chick pops titty. Life is good. But it's not good. Because after you martyr them, what's going to replace it? The general answer is going to be nothing. But who's going to replace it?
Flickr has told a story I have heard a million fucking times before since 2014. I started gambling as a kid on fucking CSGO Lounge. Then the next thing I knew, I was betting cash on some illegal Chinese website. The next thing I knew, I was getting embroiled in match fixing and illegal activity. The next thing I knew, I was stealing my mum's credit card. I've heard this story loads of times. It was what turned me around on the skins betting websites because I realised we were raising a generation of fucking not only gambling addicts but emotional cripples as well because of what it does to you.
Big true.
So that was when I came around and was like, actually, yeah, these things are bad, and they should be banned. And Valve did their part and sent out cease and desist. Twitch just kind of sat back. Super weird. So anyway, Slicker robbed everyone blind. There was a weird thing. I'll show you the Kotaku write-up, actually. Top Twitch streamers like Pokemon Mizgift threatened to strike after $200,000 gambling scam. Talk about Slicker, talk about all that stuff. Talk about how Hassan gave him money. Slicker's confession video. But then he said, I deserve the punishment. Whatever happens, happens, he said. I don't know what to say to people I borrowed from. This is the epitome of gambling. I want to say, don't touch it. Well, listen, here's the thing here. He's committed a crime. Not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice, whatever fucking caveats or whatever I need to put there. But he was using a classic confidence trick to raise money from people for improper purposes with zero intention of paying it back. Like, if you go look up all of these, like, confidence tricksters.
Confidence tricksters is literally the word from which con man is defined. Confidence man, confidence trickster, con man. I'm gonna say another wild take, which is not wild. It's very fucking glacier. All of us content creators, we are confidence tricksters. We are separating you from your money. The difference is do you get value out of what you're willing to pay into? I cannot define that value for you, only you can. So, if you find value in a fat, now new, capable of being recently paid motherfucker to be able to comment and give a basic run-of-the-mill street breakdown of shit like this, if you find that valuable and you give money, then nobody can say that you were tricked or you were scammed. But we now live in an age and time where this... Oh, he's here. Hey, Beyond.
Hey.
Hey, yes. The homie's here to... We gotta go do some errands, but I'll be back soon. Let me finish my statement. We're half paused in this video. I'll come back to this, but we are content creators. We pay and we do the things that we do, and we do not look to be compensated for most of it. Mostly because we don't want to be beggars, but also because we believe in our product as much as we believe in each other and ourselves and our supporters. We want them to be able to do better than us. Not do just as good, but lower. We want them to be better than us. So, we want to put in and make sure people get out what they should. But it's not very often that they do get that. Anyways, I have to go. I'll be back in the next, I don't know, hour and a half. Is there any other place that we need to go to beyond that you know of?
No, it's just the same two places that we went last time.
Okay, we're going to the bank, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're going to the PO box first. Gotta get something overnight because shut down in a little bit.
yeah, so we're going to get a PO box and then you can go to the bank.
Yeah. On the way back, I'm gonna buy some food, but I need to go put a check of my own inside my account. But yes, I'll see y'all. Different Carl time, same Carl channel. And before I leave, please consider supporting the support page and doing a solid for the boy. We'll be off air for like maybe 1 to 2 hours, and I will be back later this evening, and I will be live again on my channel tomorrow and Sunday. And we will season 2 some shit. See you later, motherfuckers. See you later. Play me out, Jethro! Alright, I'm moving now.